Hi, how's it going? I'm Marlene, and thanks for wandering by. I'm doing my very first VR. So this is the hashtag My Tarot Origin Story that was created by Janaki over at Catomancy Tarot. And I'm going to link to her channel below because if you haven't checked out her channel, you definitely should. She's delightful and has some really cool decks and things, and she's super bright and has lots of really interesting things to say. I was totally fascinated by the fact that she is writing her dissertation, currently writing her dissertation on the tarot, and she's doing like comparative cultures between I believe in California and India. Well, anyway, I'll link to her below so that you can watch her video all about how she explains what she's working on right now. And I just think it's like super cool. I'd love to go back to college or like rewind and do it again and write, you know, my thesis or dissertation on the tarot. That's awesome. So I thought I would join in and give Janaki my permission to go ahead and use my answers as part of her research. So the hashtag is My Tarot Origin Story. And I have kinda answered some of these questions in my Why I Tarot series, so you can check that out as well, but not as in-depth and succinctly as I'll do with Janaki's questions that I have right here. So yeah, let me just go ahead and start. So number one is, what kind of religious upbringing did you have? So my parents are from Cuba. So I'm the daughter of Cuban exiles. I was born here in the United States. But it's very typical for, if you don't know, that most Cubans tend to be Catholic. So I grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic schools. I was baptized, first communion, was confirmed, and, grew up Catholic. So I no longer practice Catholicism and haven't for many, many years. I sort of, somewhere around my teens, probably late end of high school, is really when I decided that was not for me, or I didn't identify that way anymore. And I identified as an atheist for quite some time. And that has since changed in the last few years as well. I don't really have a label for I don't know, I struggle with these words because I never want to define myself with anything yet, sort of, because I'm still kind of exploring. But I'll say spirituality, because that kind of encompasses lots of things. So yeah, I mean, I grew up Catholic, and it feels very familiar to me. If I ever happen to go to a Catholic mass for a wedding, or, anything that I get invited to, or a funeral or something like that, it's very ritualistic and familiar to me. I know the Catholic mass backwards and forwards. So yeah, that was my religious upbringing. Definitely familiar with Catholicism. And I didn't really get exposed to very many other religious experiences growing up. I didn't really visit other churches or anything like that. It was really straight up, Catholic mass for most of my life. Okay, so yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I can say about that for now. Let's see. So number two, what was your first exposure to tarot, and how did you get your first deck? So I told this story in in my Why I Tarot series, Why I Tarot. I think it's reason 3. But so I grew up, I was a teenager in the 90s. So around the, I don't remember when when like this kind of whole new age sort of thing got invigorated or something around that time, but I guess it had a lot to do with the movie The Craft came out. But for me, I was a huge fan of the TV show called My So-Called Life, starring Claire Danes and Jared Leto. If you haven't seen it, you can watch it on Hulu. But it was one of my favorite shows when I was a teenager. And in one episode, Claire Danes, the main character Angela, her best friend Rayanne, her mom was kind of this like free spirit, and she had a deck of tarot cards, and she I believe because I looked this up recently because I wanted to find out, it was the Jungian tarot that they featured in the show, which I had no idea then. But anyway, so Angela, who I was just wanted to be just like Angela, was obsessed with the tarot cards, and she was her Rayanne's mom gifted that deck to her, and then the whole episode is about the tarot, or linked with it in some way, and so I wanted to get tarot cards then. So I believe I just I don't have a memory of going to buy the deck. I just know that those two, that I saw that episode, and then I wanted to get a tarot deck. And I must have got it at Barnes & Noble. So I purchased so this is it, that I have it here with me. Oops, it's upside down. The Universal Weight. This is my deck. This is my deck from 1996. 1995, 1996 is when I got this. I want to show you all the cards because you've seen it. But that's when I got it, and it came in the box set with the pictorial key to the tarot. And I didn't learn the tarot then, though. I got the deck, and I was a kid, and I tried to read it. It wasn't like, I guess, I don't know. I said this in the video before, like, I guess I was thinking that it was going to be something different, or it was different than the deck that I saw in the TV show, or I don't know, or I didn't know what I was doing at all because I was, 16. And, and so I didn't learn then. So I later, literally last year, around a little over a year ago, what happened was that my parents, who were cleaning out stuff in their house, and I used to keep these boxes, or I did keep these boxes of memories. And so I saved so much stuff from middle school and high school and, beyond. And so I kept this tarot deck and the book. I don't think I had the original box, but just the tarot deck in its box and the book. And they cleaned out my stuff, and I got all these boxes, and in one of the boxes was my old tarot deck. And so from there, I became obsessed. So the past year, and I mentioned this before in my other video, that the past year I've been obsessively, like literally every day some tarot has been involved in my life every day since then. Okay, that was a very long-winded answer, and we're only on number 2. So let me go ahead. So number 3 is, when did tarot, because I guess I sort of already started answering this one. When did tarot become a more important part of your practice? And when, if ever, did you stop being a skeptic? What was your moment of tarot conversion like? So I guess I sort of started to answer that. I didn't have a practice of any kind until until I rediscovered, or the tarot came back into my life, and then I have been doing nothing but tarot pretty much ever since then. So when did I stop being a skeptic? I mean, I don't know that I was or wasn't a skeptic. Like, I dove headfirst into learning how to read the cards, and I've been, reading them ever since. And I mean, I don't. This is kind of hard for me to answer, because I'm trying to like be clear about what I mean. I don't read tarot predictively. So if that's what the question means, like if I'm skeptical about whether or not they quote unquote work, I guess I don't really care one way or another if they don't, because I love everything about the tarot anyway. If that makes any sense. Like I do feel like there's magic in the tarot, and I don't know if that's like, magic in the way that perhaps somebody who practices magic or practices witchcraft believes that. But whatever it is that is happening when you have what I feel like is the history of the human experience in these depictions, and when you lay the cards down and are relating those archetypes to your own life, or if you're sitting across from someone else and that is happening, like something magical takes place. And I was 100% in on that experience from the moment I started learning the cards and started reading with them. So I didn't need anything much to convert me to a tarot reader, a tarot enthusiast, just a lover of the system and the practice of the tarot. I was all in from the get-go, and I still am. I'm still right there. I guess the only thing that I could say that I would be like, skeptical of is very specific predictive readings. I don't do any readings around health or like third-party readings, is what they say, things like that. But that's, more kind of like in the ethical realm of it. But yeah, so like, I don't know that I believe that, that it is predictive, but I don't think, that's not really, it just doesn't really matter to me. Because I still think that there's something, like I said, yeah, I don't know a better term for it than just like absolutely like a magical experience in the practice of the tarot. Okay, so let me move on. Well, let me take a sip of my drink. Sorry. Okay, so when did you start reading for others or start reading for clients, and why? Oh, and why? Or, sorry. When did you start reading for others or start reading for clients, and why? Or if not, have you ever thought about it? So as soon as I started learning to read, I wanted to read for others because I wanted to practice. I definitely read for myself almost every day, and I've done readings, not for clients. So I don't read professionally, meaning I don't take money for readings. I guess that's what professionally means. So yeah, but I've read for family and friends and even friends of friends. If anybody is game for me to do a tarot reading with them, I'm happy to do it. I love to. It's one of the reasons why I tarot is so that I can get past, chit chat and small talk and really dive in and talk to people about deeper, more meaningful things. So I absolutely love reading for others when they're interested in doing it. Have I ever thought about reading for clients? Yeah, I've considered it. I've thought about, offering readings. Here, now that I have a YouTube channel, I've considered maybe having, a shop and linking to offering that service for people. The only thing that's kind of keeping me from getting that off the ground is that, is time. I'm not sure I have enough time to invest in it, but maybe, maybe I will eventually offer some readings. I think that would be awesome. I'd love to do it. Okay, so moving on, number 5. Okay, so what are some qualities from your background that make you a good reader? That is, what do you bring to the table as a reader, and what do you think your tarot superpower is? I love this question. So what qualities? So I talked about this a little bit too in my reasons for why I tarot, because I feel like one of the reasons why I think I didn't start learning and reading the tarot back when I first got this deck when I was a teenager is because I wasn't ready yet. So I needed to have like the life experience between 16 to 43 to become the tarot reader that I am now. But also like not just the life experience that I had, but the academic studies that I was involved in from then till now as well. I've been in, my undergraduate degree is in creative writing, and I'm a poet and a writer, and I studied literature and film and philosophy, and have always been someone who loves to analyze and critique and discuss and find themes and discover symbols and things like that. And so when the tarot came back to me, it just felt like a language that I already knew in terms of like archetypes and things that I had already previously studied and things, that I had thought about. So I feel like it's my language. It's already like in me. And I was just like, oh, well, here it is. And now I can have it all the time. What do I bring to the table as a reader? And what do I think my tarot superpower is? I think that it's a combination of those things, because I am a lover of literature and poetry and film and philosophy, that I can bring like that knowledge to the tarot reading, I guess. And also I can, I see the poetry in the language of the tarot, if that makes any sense. So like, I feel like part of the way that I read is the ability to like home in on any particular like symbol and then bring that light out. Something that I've considered wanting to do as like if I were to start to read professionally is including a short poem along with the reading. That's kind of like a something to go alongside a tarot reading. So yeah, I feel like my tarot superpower is my ability to to make words out of the tarot reading, like to make a word art out of the tarot reading as well. Because when I read for myself and I write in my journal about it, it's very poetic as well. Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know, I'm not an empath, and not to say that I can't empathize or sympathize with people, but it is, and because mostly I've been reading for myself, so I haven't had a lot of opportunities to read for other people. So when I think about this, about my tarot superpower, like what that is, that that would be for other people, what I would be able to share. It's not that I'm like feeling their feels or anything like that. But I am very disarming, and people tend to tell me, just open up to me and talk to me about things that are super personal. And I feel like across the cards, they do even more so, because now we have a tool that makes it even more just more likely that we're going to get into a deeper, more involved conversation about their personal life. So yeah, so I think that's cool. Like people tend to just tell me things, and I think that I would make them feel incredibly comfortable during a tarot reading. Yeah, so I think that's what my superpower is, my history of studying literature and poetry and such, and also, and being able to bring that to the table along with like my my qualities and my personality that make me somebody who's just that makes people feel comfortable around them, and safe, I guess, Okay, so finally, let's get to number 6. When did you get into TarotTube? And what is your relationship with tarot and social media? So almost immediately after I got back, or my very first tarot deck, I purchased a tarot deck. Actually, I didn't mention this back when I was talking about my first exposure to tarot, because I was talking about when I was a kid. But when I watch ASMR videos, and mostly the role-playing ones, not like the food ones. I don't like those. But anyway, I watched I used to watch GB ASMR, or ASMR GB. I don't know. She's like really big YouTuber, ASMR artist or whatever, and she did a tarot ASMR video, and the deck that she featured was the Tarot of the Divine. And so I saw that around the same time that I got my old tarot deck back. And so around, I guess it was around my birthday or Mother's Day, it was May of last year. And so I purchased the Tarot of the Divine. And so that's to talk about the tarot deck, and then YouTube. So in that same video, maybe I'll link it below. I mean, not like GB needs me to link her or anything, but but that video that she did that featured the Tarot of the Divine, she did her research to try to find like a tarot spread to do when she was talking about that deck, and she mentioned Katie Flowers. And so that is how I found TarotTube, from the ASMR video. So I started with Katie Flowers, and then and then it opened up like everybody else that I found on TarotTube. And I found and then made friends with folks on TarotTube. So what's my relationship with tarot and social media? So it took me, I just started this channel just a month ago. is it a month? Yeah, I think so. But anyway, I'm now on TarotTube myself, I guess, and I have made some lovely friendships with other tarot tubers, and I also I don't do Instagram. I have an Instagram, but I don't really do Instagram. The only thing I really do like to do tarot-wise on Instagram is I've defined tarot challenges, and my favorite is Lion Hearts. So I look for those every month to see if I'd like to do that monthly challenge from Lion Hearts. But I'm also in some Facebook groups, and they're just the ones that are the Facebook groups of my buddies. So Don Michelle from Boho Tarot and Lisa Pepez, they each have their own Facebook public Facebook group that I belong to as well. And I've chatted quite a bit and met some cool, really nice people in the community. So mostly just, I guess, in Facebook, and because I'm old, so I don't do like TikTok and that kind of stuff. Just Facebook and YouTube is where I get involved in the community. All right, so that's it. Those are all the questions. I hope that was helpful for you, Janaki, for your research. And I hope it was interesting for those of you that stuck around through this whole hashtag. And I'm excited to go take a look and see what other folks put up for this hashtag. And yeah, so thanks for sticking around. And I hope you all have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye now.